All right. Hello, everybody. Could those of you who are here and raring to go, just let me know on the side if we have audio and if we are all sounding good your end. That would be amazing. So far, so good. Good to see a few of you tuning in. I know we've got to just get awesome. Audio is good. Thank you kindly. That's what I want to hear. Just going to take my hat off for a second. See my hat here. Right. It's quite nice, actually. I like the first couple of minutes because I just fiddly faff and let you guys all arrive. Ow. I had a proper panic. I was like, where the flip is my hat? Where is my hat? I was going to be like, guys, it's a disaster. I've lost my hat. But I found it. It was, weirdly enough, in bed. In my camper van bed. Anyway, found it. All is good. Disaster abated. It's funny because it's reversed on the screen from what I actually am, and I'm a bit confused. But anyway, welcome to tonight's live session. So this sort of first couple of minutes are just me waffling on whilst I allow you folks to arrive. So perhaps it'd be really super cool if you could let me know on the side. Obviously, that's where the chat is, where you're tuning in from. And what the weather has been like today. Always nice to talk about the weather. I'm English after all. I'm just going to pour myself some tea. I'm so confused. The screen is the absolute opposite of my reality right now. Pour myself some tea, getting cozy. There we go. Now we're getting some good familiar names, some new names. This is what we like. Yep, got myself a wet. Exactly, Dan. Lovely. All right, we got people tuning in from all over the place. That's pretty exciting. I thought Andrew, I thought it said, oh, you're tuning in from Miserable. Nope, that's the weather forecast. Tuning in from Bedford, tuning in from Manchester, from Oxfordshire, from Melton Mowbray. That's a cool name. And pork pies? Huh? I'm confused. Tuning in from Ireland. Top of the morning to you. Sorry, I don't know if I should do that, but I love Ireland so much. Lancashire, Warwickshire, Nottingham, South Cumbria, Sweden. Sorry, I like Sweden. I'm not biased at all. Massachusetts. There you go. Berlin. Nice. Manchester. South Lakes, Sussex. Fantastic. Lots of people tuning in from all over the place. That is what we like. And good to see that some people have had some sunshine. Happy days. It sounds like most of us, though, are in temperate climates, whether we like it or not, where the weather is temperamental. It should be called the temperamental zone, not temperate. Anyway, I am so pleased you're all here. Thank you so much for joining. So today is a bit spontaneous. I'm terrible at advertising these things at the best of times. So I'm impressed that you all saw the notifications or advertisements, the things are here, that this is going on. So I am basically here to give you a little bit of an update. It's backwards. It's so weird. Sorry. A little bit of an update as to what's been going on in my life and in the world of wild, especially more about wild actually, and also to hear English. I am also here to answer questions. So this is definitely designed to be a bit more of a Q&A session. So a couple of weeks ago, I launched my latest documentary film, which was the Isle of Skye Trail. And the feedback has been fantastic. I am over the moon at how many of you have really enjoyed that film. You've enjoyed the awe-inspiring beauty along the way, the narration, and also felt sort of the heart pangs at the various points where, I discovered that really remote beach in Kamasunari Bay, full of plastic, and the impact of the jet going past and the struggles that I had with wild camping here and there. And my goal is basically to pick apart any questions you might have, not just about that film, but about my other recent uploads in the last sort of couple of months as well. So we've had the African Tail Way, which was my first trail last year, actually April last year. Where the frick does a year go? And the Mont Blanc Trail as well, or Mont Blanc Mountain rather. So Any questions you have about any of these films or about anything, there's never any stupid question. I'm here to answer the big questions and the small questions. I want to hear them. So if you would like to ask a question or two, you can be greedy. Pop it in the comment section. Please write it in capitals. I need you to shout at me through the screen. If things are in capitals when I'm scrolling through, makes it a little bit easier for me to decipher who is asking a question. And then also I want to ask any, I don't want to ask any questions, answer any questions that you might have regarding the 2024 season. I'm sure many of us are still getting out, doing lots of hiking, running, cycling, whatever it is. But for some of us, the spring season really is just around the corner, and sort of it's time to start dreaming a little bit bigger about some trails for this year. I can see some of you are already mentioning that you're going to be getting on the trails very soon. African Tailway seems to be on someone's list there, so that's super cool. And I would like to answer any questions you have regarding the coming season. Anything I can do to offer some advice, some support, some encouragement, some motivation in getting ready for the coming season. So please ask them in capitals. That's really helpful for me. So first of all, I'm just going to spend the next 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer, depending on how many times I have to try and say a sentence. Updating you on some really exciting news. So you are going to be some of the first people to learn about some of this news, which is very exciting. My Patreon community are always the first though, because bam, they are top-notch people, that's for sure. Yes, right. Anyway, so first of all, this is not news. Well, it is news for some of you, maybe. I know that every single year and almost every month and every video I put out, I'm getting new people coming to the channel, which is fantastic. And it's so nice. And that's why sometimes I think for some of you who've been here for a while, it can get a bit repetitive. But it is really important for me to talk about the fact that this is more than just a YouTube channel. I say it at the beginning of every video, and I mean it. So not only am I making videos, but every month I run wild walks. So walks and events, whether it's bushcraft, whether it's some navigation stuff, which I've got coming up very soon, or whether it is walks, every month I put something on as best as I can based around my travel calendar. So on the 9th and the 10th of March, happy 1st of March, by the way, I am running 2 walks down here in the southwest of the UK. Obviously, these are easier to attend for those of you who are in this country. But basically, the first day is Saturday, the 9th, and that it is the 9th, isn't it? I'm not confusing my life. I'm sure it's the 9th. I have the vets on the 8th. Yes, so the 9th is a classic walk that I run every single year, which is the Isle of Portland Coastal Path. So basically 9 miles around the Isle, finishing at a cafe always. And it's a really, really lovely walk. There's an immense amount of history, of geology, of sort of human geography going on with the quarrying. We go past multiple prisons, and the coastal path itself as well with coastal views are really, really hard to beat. So if you're around on the 9th and you'd like to join, then do check that one out. And then the second day, so Sunday the 10th, is a walk on Exmoor National Park. Now, Exmoor is a funny place because it really has its honeypot sites, which is basically a term for places where people tend to buzz around. And I've tried to avoid that by running a walk around Wimberble Lake. So Wimberble not only is a mouthful to say, but it's a really, really lovely reservoir. And I ran this walk last year, maybe 2022. When did I run this walk? Some point in the past. And it was just after that really sort of heavy drought period that we had in this country. And the reservoir was really low, and you could see everything going on in the bottom. But hopefully this time of year, there will actually be somewhat of a watery scenery to walk around. Again, it's 9 miles, so if you'd like to join, I'd love to have you along as well. I appreciate Portland and Exmoor are a little bit further apart, but my goal there was acknowledging that not everybody lives in the southwest. So by having a walk on the Sunday that's slightly further north, you can then travel north from there and make a weekend of it if you would like to. So that's the first thing I just wanted to let you know. I've still got spaces on both of those events, and I would absolutely love to welcome you if you are available to join. And otherwise, April, I am currently planning around a very important date towards the end of the month. But I should be running a couple of walks up in the Lake District and National Park. So those dates to be confirmed. So stay tuned for more information there. Right, so that's wild walks. I can tick that off my list. Tick. See, I'm good at this business admin thing. Right, next, big news, people. Unfortunately, I need a tissue. Have anyone got tissue? I changed my trousers, so I had something warmer on, and I don't have a tissue. Excuse me. Right. So, Big news. This really is big news. So my Patreon community are absolute freaking legends, and they've been helping. I don't know why I have this pen. This is like a business meeting. So, what's the latest report? My Patreon community, and Patreon, side note, if you don't know, is an online platform designed to support creators just like me to do what we're doing, to have an impact and to share stories and create positive ripple effect in the world. That's all my words. Patreon, do not steal that. So people support me monthly, and by doing that, whether it's £3 a month or up to £45 a month, people get different things for each amount they donate towards Wild and what I'm trying to do here, creating this content and the hours and bazillions of life molecules that go into doing this thing. Anyway, part of that, no matter which tier people are in, is they get access to my Patreon page and community. And the community have, drum roll please, just voted for the next t-shirt to color. Woohoo! I'm getting all excited. I'm not even telling you anything yet. So every single year, twice a year, I run a limited edition Spend More Time in the Wild t-shirt competition. So we have the classic Stay Wild t-shirts, which are the black ones. These are constantly available and they're made out of recycled materials. They're really, really comfortable. Don't need to sell them. Everybody loves them. I've never heard a single critique of these t-shirts. That's them. But every year I launch a new color that is voted for by the community. So last autumn, so it's the shoulder seasons that I do a sale. Last autumn, we had plum. Plum was a lovely, lovely color. I'm trying to tell you what color it was, but it's a plum color. And they were sold out literally just like that overnight, which is super cool. When they're gone, they are flipping gone. I did actually order a second batch because I didn't have enough money in the account to buy the amount that I wanted to buy. So then I bought the second batch. But anyway, the point was they're gone. Basta, finito, done. Ciao. Ciao, adios, I'm done. Woo! And basically now we have a new color and Patreon community have just voted for it. And it is an earthy green. That is the color that we are having for spring 2024. It doesn't feel like a very spring-like color, but my gosh, like the numbers were through the roof. People wanted this earthy green and I wanted this earthy green as well. So earthy green is coming very, very soon to my store as a limited edition. They are literally at the printers as we speak, probably not being printed right now because looking at the time, the printers are shut, but they are at the printers where the lovely dog called Goose lives. Goose is so cute. Goose is a Dackel and his baby little Dackel, and he's 4 months old, and I had cuddles with him the other day and I was having a really rough day and I love Goose. But Goose is there supporting the printing of the t-shirts. Yes, they are Cool Max material, so they are, wow, I saw a question, look at that. So they are made out of breathable wicking materials, so they are active or suitable for activities and just day-to-day wear. So they will be coming to my store very soon. I have here provisionally on my notes the 11th of March. That is a Monday. So I'm not sure about that. I might launch them sooner. If I get them sooner, I might launch them later. But I strongly recommend, if you're not already subscribed, to get subscribed to my newsletter. You can do that on my website, which is spendmoretimeinthewild.co.uk. And I'm going to do you all a favor. I'm going to plonk it in the information bit, in the chat rather. Here we go. So coming to you. This, boom, on the side, that side, I don't know which side because this is reversed and confusing the life out of me. Somewhere in the ether, that's my... that is my newsletter. So subscribe to that and you will get an email once these things go live, and you will need to get in there fast. I am not kidding. Like, they will be gone within a day. Also, make sure you're following on social media if you're on social media, and keep an eye on my YouTube shorts, where basically I'm just trying to do like Instagram stories. For those of you that don't have social media, it's just a little 60-second update. So I'll try and remember to let you all know there. I'm really trying to get my brain to work and remember all of these components that I need to keep up to date. It's kind of like, oh, I have t-shirts now. I should tell my friends. And then it's like, oh no, send a newsletter, put a social post out, put a reel out, take the promotional content, and I'm like, but anyway, that's that. So 11th of March, possibly. the t-shirts will be on sale. They always go out to Patreons first of all, so Patreons will have early access. So if you absolutely 1,000,000,000,000,000% want to be certain of getting an earthy green, you could join Patreon. You could do it as a one-off. You could. I mean, why not? But anyway, whatever. That's that. So thumbs up if you're excited about the t-shirts. That's that. Right. What else do I have here? I have Q&A. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for listening. Right. There's actually more things that I need to tell you. I just can't remember what they are right now. So I guess I can say I don't mind sharing that I am currently working on the Altavia 1. So that's the next documentary in edit. I'm going to show you. This is what they look like. This is my life's work right here. Brian, also, I don't know how you managed to do that, but thank you so much for donating. I really appreciate that. That is so kind of you. That will go towards helping do this. So this is the Altavia 1, everybody. It's all in edit. It's very exciting. And because I'm so paranoid, I haven't organized my life. Where's it gone? Who stole it? I don't know. I had something else to show you, but it's gone away. What has appeared is a patch. If you haven't got your patch, get your patch, because patches are cool and patch is a really great word. So yeah, patch yourself up with a patch. Don't worry about it. All's good. If in doubt, slap a patch on it. So you can get those on the store as well. Anyway, Altavia 1 is currently in edit. That's not Altavia 1, that's 2024 footage. Altavia 1 is currently in edit. Yes, and I have actually just returned from Scotland. I just spent a couple of weeks up there doing some winter skills, filming some tent reviews, filming a hand pan video. I know that's been much requested, so that is on its way. Literally, if I shared my screen, you could access Final Cut Pro where I'm editing it right now. There's actually nothing to edit. It's so nice. I just have to put footage on top and hope that you could just relax and enjoy the hand pan. Connie, also you have donated. My goodness me, this is so amazing. I really appreciate both you and Brian for donating. Thank you. And obviously all of you just for being here. It's really, really, really affirming for me. I think all of you know, if you've watched my videos, just how much heart and passion I pour into this work. Like, I care, I want to make a difference, I want to leave a legacy, and I just want to try and make the world a better place for people and for animals, for nature, for the world that we love and enjoy. So that's really what this is all about. Right, it is time for some questions. So I'm going to scroll up to the first capital thing that I can see. Fleur is asking, Abbie, where are the best walks in the Cotswolds? Oh, that's a hard question. So truthfully, I haven't done a lot of walking in the Cotswolds. The Cotswold Way was very nice. It's a very good place to start. It usually is. So truthfully, when it comes when I try and find new walks in a new area, because that's usually the most exciting place to walk, right? New places, new things. I actually am a really big fan of a guidebook. I like to get a good old map out, a proper map, hard paper map, that's where I'm trying to get to here, and a guidebook. So I would strongly suggest having a look on a world of books and picking up a secondhand guidebook on the Cotswold. And you'll find lots of lovely routes there, and it's super nice because you can like tick them through and you can dog ear it and then shove it in your pocket and come out and be like, oh yeah, that was the day it rained, look, I can't see that walk anymore. And they sort of become a bit of a souvenir. So I'm a big fan of a guidebook. But otherwise, Walk Highlands is a really good website for finding new walks in this country. They used to document all over the country, but I know recently they've sort of started changing to actually going back to Scotland. So that needs fact checking. And what's the other one? Trail Magazine. So there's an app you can get on your phone called OS. So OS do guidebooks. No, they don't. That's a complete lie. OS do what do OS do? Maps. There we go. OS do maps, and they have an app, so you can use it for free or you can pay for a subscription. I think it's about $23.99 for the year, which is actually very good value. And part of that service, I wonder if I can just show you briefly, if I get it up. They see me scrolling. They hating. Let me see. What's happening here? They've changed their interface. Who does that? OS. What? Look, they changed it. Okay, never mind. Well, anyway, I can't walk you through that now because that's new. But you can find there's a little button that says find routes, and you can click on that, and then it takes you to lots of different routes. And that's actually what I was using in Scotland. So when I was trying to find some nice hills to go and climb in the snow and practice my ice axe and crampon and helmet stuff, I was looking on there at different routes and sort of working out the timings and everything. So that's a few places to hopefully start. And Cicerone is another company that I actually work with on a very loose basis, and they make guidebooks. So if you like to use, if you find a guidebook that they have, I can get you some money off. Look, I get absolutely nothing for this. Most companies that I work for, I don't get anything for, but I just care about the companies and I care about helping you guys. So I've just shared on the side there on my website, it's a deals and discounts page, and it's got lots of different codes. And Cicerone have given me a code, so I think you can get 10% off. Why not? There you go. Right. Hopefully that helps, folks, and is also translatable to other places beyond the Cotswolds. Next question, RS Outdoors. Do you plan to do the Cape Wrath Trail? This is a question I get quite frequently. Yes, I do, but I'm not in any rush. Right? If you've seen my Hebridean Way video, you'll know how I feel about sleeping in tick bog mulch country. I love Scotland passionately. It's part of who I am, literally. But the Hebridean Way was soggy, wild, quite pathless, and I had a bit of a rough time. And the Cape Wrath sort of feels a little bit like that on steroids. Right now, I'm really enjoying finding mountains and climbing them. So Cape Wrath Trail, yes, but I know it's not going anywhere, and I'd like to do that, I think, at a certain chapter of my life when I just need to run away from society. So yes, but not yet. Next question. Brian is asking, do you have any tips for a new walker, and what gear is good for a newbie? I would say start simple. Don't overthink it. It's very, very easy as a new walker, whether day walking or backpacking, to get dragged into the gear conversations. Oh, wear trail shoes. Oh, wear walking boots. Oh, only merino socks. Oh, never. No. It's just ignore it all. Do what works for you so long as you're staying safe. Try not to wear cotton because cotton basically holds moisture, whether that's sweat or rain, and that's obviously going to chill you if there's any kind of a wind. But otherwise, school bag, waterproofs, wicking clothing, trainers or boots. Start nice and simple, start nice and local, take a camera, have fun, share it with friends, leave no trace, bish, bash, bosh, you're in for a good time. If you want to take it up the next level, I would say start with what's most important to you. Is it having comfortable footwear? Is it having a backpack that fits better? Is it about having more technical clothing? Is it just walking poles? Start nice and simple. And the more you do, the more you'll realize that you can, quote unquote, upgrade and make your life more comfortable and more easy. But also I think buy secondhand if you are terrified by the price tags of things. I'm a massive fan of an app called Vinted. I'm presuming it's outside of the UK as well. Does anyone know is Vinted outside of the UK? But anyway, it's a secondhand app for clothing and for rucksacks and things like that. So you can have a look there. Facebook Marketplace, eBay. I do recommend trying before you buy, but if you find something you like for example, I wear a lot of the brand Rab. I know I'm a small in a size Rab, so I know in theory if I order anything in a size small, it's going to fit. So those are some things that I would suggest for folks looking to get into hiking and finding gear. I'm just going to have a wee sip of tea. Tea. Question, Timbo. Cool name. I like your name. How do you like your new lightweight kit, and does it help with your back problem? So I wouldn't say I have any new lightweight kit. I changed to a Z-Packs Arc Haul Ultra rucksack a few years ago, I think at the beginning of 2022. It's a very, very comfortable rucksack for me. So it's a very lightweight rucksack, but it's very comfortable. Now, the myth I have to debunk is that lightweight doesn't necessarily help me with my back injury. My back injury flares up if I'm driving, if I'm just stressed out, if I've got a weird posture, if I've just not had a good night. It's very much linked to my mental health as much as what I'm carrying. Now, definitely wearing a heavy rucksack does exacerbate it. And I was actually out training the other day. I just did a local walk in Scotland round a loch and with a heavy pack, just a bit of training. and it really did flare up and was very uncomfortable. But I was already very stressed that day. So the theory is that my back problem is actually psychosomatic. It's linked to my mental health, which is absolutely fine. We'll keep working on it. But, lightweight kit does make my life easier because no matter what I shave off my kit, I'll still have to carry a lot of camera kit. I am not out to cut corners with making these films. Like, one of my mottos is don't cut corners. Put the work in now and it will help you later. And I want to document things to the absolute best of my ability. Like, I show up 1010% when I'm on the trail, and literally from waking up to being asleep, I am documenting, whether it's audio diaries, filming, anything else. Really, really hard work. So I've got a lot of camera kit and a lot of audio gear. So that adds to the weight that I tend to shave off by having slightly lighter weight kit. But I have to say, I'm really, really happy with my kit. And I think if you've watched the favorite kit video from 2023, you'll know that I've been getting on quite nicely with most things, actually. It's been 3 or 4 years now that I've been using pretty much the same stuff. I've had to replace a few things. I had to get a new rucksack this year, for example, because mine is just completely disintegrated. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Thanks for asking. Someone's away to watch football. All right. I can't compete with that. I could imagine if I just could teleport myself to a football game and just run around a football pitch. That would be awful terrible. Never mind. Paul, what piece of gear that, hang on. What was the piece of gear that you used during the hiking season of 2023 that surprised you the most? Off the top of my head, especially because it's in the video and you can see what it looks like, I have to say that little Amazon camping stove completely shocked me. It weighs 25 grams. It's a screw-on stove, so you screw it onto a gas canister. And I thought this thing was going to break. Like, for the first couple of trails, I carried my Soto Amicus with me as a backup. But this tiny little thing is bomb-proof, and it's just tick, 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 and you pull out the little triangle, and it just sits on there, and you're just how is this working? It costs £16, and it weighs 25 grams. So that's, as you can see by my emotional reaction, that's far surpassed my expectations, I have to say. I've actually bought a couple. I'm going to be giving them away to my Patreon community. So another thing that I do every month is I give away a piece of kit. If you've watched my recent review of the Osprey Atmos rucksack, I gave that away to a lucky winner a couple of weeks ago. And the next couple of months, I'm going to be giving away some of those wee stoves as well. I freaking love them. They're so small. So yeah, that's that. Someone's booked onto the Portland tag. Whoop-de-doo! Happy days. Right, next question. I don't know why I have so much energy. I just need more tea. Tea. Actually, being energetic in this house is great because it warms me up. It's very cold. Michael is asking, hi. Has your camera dried out yet when you dropped it in the river at Whitby a while ago? Yes. So I dropped my camera in 2019. Was it 2019? Yes, on the Cleveland Way in the ocean at Whitby Bay. Managed to find a scuba diver. Oh, it was so stressful. But it's dried out. I actually don't have a working GoPro at the moment. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to invest in a new one. They are so glitchy. So I had a Santa dive. You heard that right. We were diving as Santa Clauses with my dive club at Christmas. And I was really excited to film it because we're just in a quarry and there's hundreds of Santas. And my water camera it's just completely died. I couldn't even use it. It didn't even make it into the water. And then my other two, yes, I have 3 GoPros because they're so glitchy. They have just been really, really temperamental, and it's so difficult because one of the big things you can do to fix the glitch is to take the battery out. But that means sliding off the side, taking the battery out, put it back in, lock it back up. You can't do that in the water, and you can't do that when it's flipping freezing cold. So when I was on Mont Blanc, I tried to do it, and I hate this, but the side of the GoPro fell off down a crevasse. So somewhere on Gran Paradiso in the glacier is a piece of my GoPro, and I just feel wrecked because I've full on littered, and it's horrendous. But there's no way I could have reached it. It was hundreds of meters. It's well, bye then. So yeah, I'm going to need to get a new GoPro. I'm not going to be going for the latest GoPro, so I'm not a fan of the latest, but I'll just want to get another GoPro Hero 8 but they're still like 300 quid. And you're like, how are these so expensive? We're like on the 11 now. This should be like 50 quid. Please, thanks, bye. Anyway, that's that. So my camera's dried out, but I can't say that it's working. So that's that. Right, next question. Sorry, scrolling. I'm reading and scrolling and talking nonsense. I'm very glad I don't get embarrassed in these live sessions anymore. It's beyond that. Jan is asking, any walks planned anytime late March, early April along the Cotswold Way? Unfortunately not, my friend. There is high demand for walks all over the country. But yeah, I've mentioned the ones at the beginning of March, and the ones or in April will be either the second or the third weekend in April in the Lake District. I can pretty much tell you what those walks are going to be. We're going to do Ennerdale, which is a classic walk, probably the last time I'll run that one, and Grasmere and Ryder Water. So one of them is a much longer walk. It's 11.5 miles. And then the second one is about 4, 5, 6 miles. So it's a slightly shorter day to sort of just make it accessible for different groups of people. So stay tuned for more. Right. Man, we got some good questions here, people. I like this a lot. I lost where I was now. I was scrolling and got excited. Right, okay. Jan is also asking, also in the second week. Yes, so there you go. Sorry, I answered that. Okay, next question. Can you share some of the trails you've been looking to do this year? Oh, cheeky question that is. Can I? Can I? Well, one I can share, the only one I'm going to share, actually. No. Okay, I'll share two. Go on. So one of them is the Oat Route. So I hope to return to the Oat Route. Oat Route runs from Chamonix to Zermatt. It's quite far. It means the high route. And I tried to do it last year. I say tried because I pulled out 3 days in, which was the first sort of big walk that I've ever pulled out of. More from just mental fatigue. I was already 4 or 5 trails in, and I was flipping knackered. My poor dad and partner just getting phone calls of like the carnage of how unwell I was feeling and unsure and what do I do, and crying on the side of a mountainside like. But I feel that it was 1,000% the right decision to come down. I'm really pleased that I did. But I have to return to complete this trail, and I think I'm not going to stress out about camping. I'm just going to try and stay in huts. But as I say, I'm awaiting a very important date at the end of April, which is going to dictate a lot of this year for me. More of that coming in a video. That's possibly going to be news for a few of you. But anyway, that's that. So that will dictate when I can and do trails and things. And the other one I can share for you is in 2014, when I was a wee person. I just finished A-levels, right? And I went to Tanzania to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, the roof of Africa, the highest freestanding mountain in the world. And I was the sole camera operator on an expedition called Climb for Kilimanjaro. And actually, it was for Climb for Climate Change. I forgot. Never mind. And I was with a few world-renowned conservationists. So Ian Singleton, who's very famous for his orangutan conservation work, Ian Redmond, who's very famous for his African elephant works, and Andy Singleton, who does a lot with the Roundtable of Sustainable Palm Oil. And we were there climbing the mountain to document the effects of climate change on the glacier, on the endemic wildlife, which means wildlife local to only that region, and to the local people as well. And it's 10 years ago. 10 years ago. How did that happen? So if you'd like to hear about my reflections from my journey at the age of 18, climbing the mountain, you can find somewhere on my channel, there's a waffly video called Kilimanjaro Reflections, where I talk about it. But I hope to return, yes, and see the difference. So that's hopefully going to be towards the second half of the year. And that, for now, is all I can share. We will see what else appears. There's a fair amount on the cards, I'm not going to lie. But that's 2 for now. Right. Hikes next week are dog friendly. The walks are dog friendly. Yes. I just need you to drop me an email and I'll answer ask you a couple of questions. But absolutely, dogs can come so long as they are a bit now, because I feel like I'm waffling on. I mean, I kind of sometimes I'm like, man, I talk so much in these live sessions, and then I'm like, well, how weird would it be if I just sat here like so? Yeah. Grass is looking greener today. Yeah, I just wouldn't. No. Right. Kirsty is asking, do you ever lead longer backpacking walks? Oh, Kirsty, what a good question. Soon is the answer. I have been toying with the idea of running the African Tail Way as a group event. So 3 or 4, maybe 5 people can book on, and we will do it together as a journey. So I need this April date, and I can plan my life. So potentially, yes. But also, it's worth me mentioning. I am. I don't know how to phrase this in a proper way. You can hire me as a mountain leader. So if there's a walk you'd really like to do, I am actually available for personal hire. I don't know how to phrase this. You can do that on my website. Every year I lead a couple of walks for people for their birthdays or for anniversaries or whatever. So if that's something of interest and you'd like to talk about a multi-day walk, then please let me know. Okay, next question. I'd love to see a whole wild collection, boots, trousers, backpacks, everything. Yes, that's what we like. My poor dad, bless him, has all my stuff in his garage. So trying to, I think we need a warehouse. Does anyone know of a warehouse? Then we can start to evolve this thing. Do you know the All Trails app? Yes, All Trails is very helpful. Hiker is another really great app. Fat Maps is another great app. There are so many great apps out there. The key thing is still having a paper map with you at all times. There are so many stories that go under the radar, some above the radar, of people making mistakes, of apps not working properly, of people running out of batteries. Massive, massive fan of apps. Can't rate them highly enough, especially OS and Hiker. But always have a paper map. Also, paper maps are great. So there we go. Okay, next question. Any predictions for what the weather is usually like end of March, first week of April? Unfortunately, I'm not a weather forecaster, but I will believe in sunny with a few showers, potentially cold wind. Expect precipitation. Bring a hot brew. There you go. I don't know what I talk about. -35, Fairbanks. Can I come and visit? That sounds very nice. Quite like the idea of that. Oh, my dad is confirming the OS homepage has changed. That's good then. It's not my phone glitching on me. Darren is asking, are you planning on walking the new Tamara coast path? I don't know about this. What is this coast to coast path? Is this in the UK? Tamara doesn't sound like the UK. It sounds like either, I don't know, Australia or somewhere. Where is this? I would like to know more. What's your favorite meal on the trail? Oh, good question. Favorite meal on the trail? Oh, my favorite meal on the trail is when I get to somewhere where I can buy salad, halloumi, not vegan, unfortunately. I am plant-based, but it happens. And yes, sweet potatoes. That's what I love that. Trail food is very hard for me. I actually really enjoy the tent meals. So again, I work with tent meals and you can get their meals discounted. I really like them because they have smaller packaging, so it's less plastic, but also it's very natural flavors. You could like whole cashews and Moroccan seasoning and whichever one you go for. So I do like theirs. But do I have a favorite meal on the trail? Every now and then, a good bit of mashed potato. I'm so boring. I'm going to sit with that. Favorite meal on the trail. I don't have a favorite meal, if I'm really honest. I like couscous, which is helpful in my life, but apologies. No great revelation of some fantastic meal. It's a good question. I like being stumped, and I'm officially stumped. Right, Aidan is asking, have you thought of walking the Southern Upland Way? I have indeed thought of it. Have I walked it? Not yet. Next question. What do you think of Bodmin Moor? It's all right. Quite like it. Enjoyed cycling through it on Abbie Bikes Britain. Next question. Nigel, any plans to do some hikes in Switzerland? Well, actually, the Oat route goes to Zermatt, so the bulk of it is actually in Switzerland. So yes. Next question. Amy, do you run wild walks in the Peak District? Yes, I do. Usually 1 or 2 a year. Stay tuned. It's super limited edition. And the problem with living here in the southwest of England, hopefully for not too much longer, everything's very far away. So running walks up north, everywhere north of Bristol is north, it really does need to attach to my actual travel itinerary, because otherwise I spend bazillions of pounds going up and down with fuel. So sorry, I just need to squish my leg a little bit. There we go. But yes, hopefully we'll do some in the peaks very soon. Looks like someone's going to do the Bear Away. That's very exciting. I want to camp the toilet situation. Tips. I know a lot of people worry about this whole toileting thing. Personally, I would much rather go to the toilet in the wild than in any other toilet because it's cleaner. It's so much cleaner. Going for a wee, super easy. Do I really need to talk through how to do this? Wow. If you're worried about exposure, a really cool tip, especially for women, is to get something like a sarong or a scarf. So sarong, if you don't know, is like I think calling it a scarf. It's Indian. It's like a shawl, and you can wrap it around yourself. So when you squat down, you kind of got like a skirt, I suppose. So you could do that. I don't do that. I should have more shame, to be honest. When I gotta go, and that ain't no joke, people. Everyone who knows me in my life is like, geez, you just went like 2 minutes ago. It's like, yes, I did. And now it's 2 minutes later and I have to go. So very quickly, if you have to go, you overcome that problem. Number twos are a little bit more complicated. And this is very funny. I love that I can just do this on YouTube and talk about pooping in the wild. So, I mean, we all do it the same. That's something worth sharing. So it's very important that you bury your poop. Generally, based upon the environment you're in, that's quite important. Is digging the wee hole, have a little deposit, and then bury it back over. Some people say you can bury your loo roll with it. Some people set your loo roll on fire. And I personally just say, if it doesn't exist there, carry it out. And sometimes that does go for your poop. In most instances, it doesn't. But I'll just say, just go for it, And if you're worried about loo roll, another thing you can do is get one of these squeezy bottles with a nozzle so you can use water essentially to clean yourself. Now, it's really important, obviously, that water is from a source that is at least potable. But that's something that I also do. Because I do. So what else can I share? I'm not sure really. But I think it's natural to be concerned about it. But my personal thing that I would say, if you really want to be able to go outside, is just like, if you're happy to use service station toilets, then I think using the outside should be absolutely fine. Hopefully that helps. I don't really know. Maybe. Walking in Nature is asking, have you any plans to do Space Hideaway? I've actually just done a fair amount of the Space Hideaway, yomping about where I was near Abbie, so that was quite nice. Aaron Coaster Path. Oh, someone's on the right path. See why I did that? Not going to answer that question. Maybe this answers the question. I don't know. Maybe I have plans. Maybe I don't. Let's just see. Oh. Between Two Finds is asking, I love that name. It's a good name. How do you like the drone? Oh, the drone. Do you know what? I love how well this video has been received. I was so hesitant about getting a drone. As you know, it's taken me 3 years to use it, if you've watched that video, my most recent upload. And I hate drones. I hate the noise of drones. They're really annoying. They're very intrusive. And I was like, I don't want to be like that. But then I was just like, I have a really cool trip planned for the middle of March. And I was like, if there's anywhere to use a drone, it's going to be on this cool trip. And so I took it up to Scotland after shooting that video, and I've been playing around with it, and I really like the drone. I was on Schiehallion, which is a very famous Munro mountainy thing in Scotland, climbing that, and I put the drone up, and there were a couple of people about, and when they came down, I was like, listen, sorry to be that annoying drone person. They're like, no, it's really cool. Did you get some good footage? So I feel like I'm finding my place with it. When people say, oh, you're just going to be another annoying drone person, it's like, do you even know me? No, I'm not. Absolutely not. The only thing I'm really struggling with it is it steams up like nobody's business. I put it in the air, and as soon as I hit record, it steamed up. And I don't know if that's a glitch on my drone, or if I don't know. I don't know if I need to look to get a new one or what the deal is, but it steams up and it's very annoying. So I like the drone, but I haven't been able to get as much use out of it as I'd want to, because every time I put it in the air, it steams up. I don't know if that's because our house is like 90% humidity, no joke. And it's sort of got moisture in it, like in the electrics. I don't really know. But if anyone has any answers for that, please let me know. Okay, folks, so I'm going to try and whiz through these. As you can see, I'm nearly there, which is quite cool. I am nearly there. We've got some that are not capitals, but someone has adverts. What's adverts? How are there adverts? I don't think there shouldn't be adverts on a live session. Okay, I can see there's no more capitals. Oh, Tamara Coast Path is in Cornwall. That's ideal. Oh, hang on, there are some more questions, but they're not capitals. People, I need them in capitals, please. It just helps me. Okay, let's go. I'm going to aim to finish at 8, so we've got 10 minutes to get through these. I want to answer all your questions because this is nice today. Sam is asking, hi, have you got any advice for someone just starting out walking to get fit with the hope to go on more challenging walks once you get fit? Great vlogs, thoroughly enjoy them. Thank you, Sam. Right. So I used to work as a personal trainer and I love fitness. It's a massive part of my daily routine. Not today, but generally, I train every single day. And yeah, I think this is a really, really important time of year to be up and moving and getting ready if you want to make the most of the spring and summer season to come. So one of the things I want to say is if you want to get good at walking, walk. If you want to walk further, walk further. If you want to walk higher, work on your ascents. Start to log it, track it, don't get obsessive, but challenge yourself. I think it's some really nice baseline things that we can work with just for general health and fitness. Ensure you get your heart rate up every single day, which is something super nice. Ensure you get a sweat on every single day. Try and eat close to nature. So nice, colourful foods that are going to just revive your body and help with your immune system, help with your physical recovery. So those are the first few things I would say. And the fourth one, do stuff you really enjoy. So as soon as exercise becomes a prescription, and sometimes it will because it's training, then you're going to find you lack the fun. And this is where it's really important to sort of work on our mental resilience alongside our physical resilience, because sometimes we're not going to want to. And that's when it's like, okay, man, like I'm scheduled to do an 8-mile hike today. It is peeing it down outside. My route's still really safe. It's just going to be a bit miserable. That's where it's like, right, everything in me is saying I'm not going to do this right now, but it's time to show up and to do this, because when I'm on the trail, I don't have a choice. I need to crack on with it. And what this is going to do is help work on your mental resilience as well as your physical fitness and resilience. So that's sort of the main things I would just say right now, is sometimes it is hard to keep doing the things that we know we need to do that are good for us and going to help us achieve our goals. And that's where it's like, right, it's a mind game. It's time to make that into a challenge, twist our thinking, work on that mental resilience at the same time. Now, the other thing, very, very basic strength training. So squats, lunges, there are so many different things. I've even got a couple of shorter HIIT workouts that you can do. The core strength training is really, really important, working on our core, because it's our core, and our core is not just our front, but it's our lower back as well. That's basically holding us upright every single day. Stretching and mobility, that's something else. There's some really, really nice videos on YouTube. One of them, I think, is called Breath and Flow, or Flow and Breath, or something like that. I don't know. And I use his videos a lot. He's got some nice sort of 20-minute beginner stretches, which are like yoga flows, and they're just really great. Get you mindful and just help with your mobility. So hopefully that's enough there, just thrown at you to start with. But the possibilities are endless. Good luck. You've got this. All right, Darren, do you think outdoor clothing is overpriced, especially big names? As have any cheaper manufacturers impressed you in the last few years? So I started with Tesco's, Argos, and Regatta. True fact. My first tent was from Argos. My first backpack was from Tesco's. Tesco's is a big supermarket here in the UK, for those of you that don't know. And Regatta is quite a well-known, very low-end on the price scale brand that does outdoor clothing. And they did me just fine. Now, the thing is, when you do start to pay more, you do tend to get more technical fabrics. You get waterproofs that are sort of impregnated with more waterproofing material, sort of higher denier. We've talked about in lots of videos. So the weaves are generally tighter, so the durability is generally much higher. Things are lighter, so you are carrying less. But there is a point where you do start to pay for a brand. I don't know what that point is, but my point to you would be like, what piece of clothing do you need? Is it waterproof? Is it trousers? Yada, yada, yada. Try some things on in your local outdoor store. Okay. And then if something really works, have a look for secondhand. Waterproofs are a bit hit and miss because they do run out of their waterproofing eventually. But I think buying secondhand and buying from ethical companies is a really, really, really important thing that we can do as users of the outdoors. Is something we can do to just lower our environmental footprint and the impact on the wild places that we love. So I do think they're overpriced. Yes. I don't know why they cost so much, but they seem to do. But I do find that a lot of the high-end brands, there is worth in what you're paying for, at least if you're going to be using things a lot. But I think also it's just like a tent. Tents are an investment piece. You know, if you're going to pay 100 quid for a tent or you're going to pay 500 quid for a tent, the question I would be asking is, how much are you going to be using that tent? What are you going to be using that tent for? Obviously, camping, hopefully. But where are you going to be using that tent? What are the specifics you need in that tent? If you're just going out for one trail a year in the summer, where hopefully it's going to be nice and dry, £100 tent, bish, bash, bosh. If you're going to be going out all year round, winter season, you're going to be wanting to spend a lot more because you need something that's suitable for different conditions. So, like, that's why I use a Hillyberg, for example. So I think it's really hard to answer your question, which is an amazing question. But never, ever, ever feel the need to start with high-end equipment because it's just not necessary. Unless you're going to go and do a very specific expeditional trip where you need specific kit, like debunk all the myths, start simple, a waterproof's a waterproof. So long as it keeps you dry, everything's going to wet out at some point. You know, they all reach the same point. You're going to be just fine. So hopefully that helps. I don't really know what I even said there. But yeah, that's my personal opinion and experience, having used everything from the absolute bottom up to top-notch stuff on terms of the price scale where we are now. Okay, last couple of questions. Flip 5 minutes. Do you ever take souvenirs from a walk? Do I ever take souvenirs? Sometimes I'll take a very small pebble. I know some people will frown upon that, but frown all you like. That's fine. It's me and my pebbles. I like sticks. Sticks are quite collectible. I have to limit things, to be honest. And unfortunately, organic things in this house just mold. We have a serious mold problem and damp problem. So it gets very sad to have your souvenirs and find them just molded. So I've actually recently, in the last few years, stopped collecting things. It's probably why I tend to get pebbles a little bit more. My partner is thoroughly impressed by it. Like, I have a couple of shelves that are just covered in rocks, and I have a box of rocks, and they're things that I've collected from my childhood onwards. And it's so weird because I can remember every single rock, where it's from. There must be at least a couple hundred rocks. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe 100 rocks, and I know where they're all from. So weird. And sometimes I bring her back a shell and she'll be like, oh, you know, I'm not going to remember where this is from. I'm like, I know, but I will. So there we go. Right, that's that. Okay. Last couple of questions. Here we go. I'm going to give 3 more questions. I'm going to start from the bottom and go up now. What was I just humming? What is that? It's Julie Andrews. Sorry, everybody. Gosh, welcome to my home life. Your drone shouldn't be misting up. Where do you store it when not at use? I store it in its bag in our very damp house. Terry, you seem like someone who knows what's happening. Help, please help, please help. I really don't want it steaming up. It's very annoying. Miss Ellie B, lovely name. What 4-season tent do you recommend for backpacking? It depends if you want freestanding or not. Freestanding, my go-to is the Terra Nova Southern Cross, and non-freestanding is Hillyberg. I tend to say the Enon. You can get away with 4-season, but if you really need a bomb-proof, Acto, always. Next question. In fact, last 2 questions. Question. Any plans for this year for a hike in Germany? No plans, but I do find myself in Germany every now and then. My partner's German, so it happens. Probably be cycling along the northern coastline. That's always very nice and flat. Good holiday place. Yeah. 3-second tents. They're good for some things. I don't know about camping. Pass. Pennine Way, some points. Yorkshire Wolds Way, last question. Any tips? Everything I've said, basically. Keep your pack as light as you can. Enjoy it. Take your time. Talk to people. Take lots of photos. If you see rubbish, pick it up and find nice food along the way. Bam! Q&A session done, and ended on food. Love it. We have a dehumidifier. Thank you for asking. Or it's running constantly, unfortunately. A house move needs to happen, quite frankly, folks. But I won't bore you with my personal life. This is wild. So we are here at the end of our Q&A session. We have talked about the wild walks that I'm running on the 9th and 10th of March, not May. God, my flipping life. We have talked about the earthy green t-shirts, which are going to come out also in March, potentially the 11th. We've talked about the newsletter, so make sure you're subscribed to that. That is linked on the side somewhere. I can send it again if that's helpful. Coming your way. Stay tuned for more. Whoa, hey, here we go. I'm in such a strange mood this afternoon. I apologize. That's there. We have talked about all sorts of different questions that you have asked, and I have answered them. Hopefully, some of this has been helpful and somewhat entertaining as well. I do just want to say, if you would like to support me, this is not an essential. We've talked about my Patreon community, but if you are in the position to make a one-off donation to help me keep making these videos, there are a lot of monthly upfront costs that I do have to cover. Then I would be so grateful if you could make a one-off donation. I'm basically asking people, if you enjoy my video, if you donate £1, I'll get about 60p, and that obviously amasses quite quickly towards helping me fund the coming season and cover the cost of all the post-production that I'm currently in right now. So absolutely no obligation. I'm just grateful you're here. It means the world. But if you have a spare pound, dollar, whatever it is, I'd be so grateful if you could send that my way. But if not, thanks for being here. Share my videos. Keep talking to people. Word of mouth is the best marketing tool we have in this world, for me at least anyway. But honestly, folks, I hope this has been helpful. I really love doing these live sessions. They are vulnerable for me. I have some big things coming up in my life, end of April, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you on a more personal level in a video coming very soon. But yeah, it's exciting times, and the year is before us. The spring season is upon us for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, and we have so much to look forward to. So thank you for tuning in, folks. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your company. Thank you for your questions and your attentiveness. These have been good questions today. Thank you, Connie, also for your donation just there. That's also super kind. And many thanks for being awesome people. Enjoy your adventures wherever they may be, no matter how big or how small. Doesn't matter. An adventure is an adventure. You got this. Until next time, stay wild, folks. I'll see you very soon on the next video. Have a nice evening, day, morning, life. See you soon. Stay wild.